Hi everyone and welcome to another NOZ Plays, where we're going to take a look again at the Star Wars Battlefront beta, and I'm going to give you my final impressions. Now, if you watched my last NOZ Plays on the Star Wars Battlefront beta, you'll know that I'm very much on the fence and wasn't really enjoying the overall experience. Thank you to everyone that responded in the comments section on that video, and to the majority of you who shared the same opinion as me. DarkFox127 even decided to write a small essay in which I've given him the grading of a C, just because it wasn't completely well constructed. And I agree with quite a few points that Dark Fox has pointed out, one of those being that this is a good Star Wars game, the sounds are very Star Wars, it's fantastic, and the artwork is amazing, however it's just not a good Battlefront game. And this is for several reasons, the main one being that it doesn't really lend itself well to teamwork. Especially on the Hoth battle, it has become a mash, a sort of a free-for-all, as you do get with most FPSs these days, where everyone's just out to kill anyone they can and get the highest score. It feels like the teamwork is just a side note, just slapped on there for goodwill. And another one of the main aspects for me is the way that vehicles are handled in this game. I really preferred the system in Battlefront 2 where you spawned, you had a selection of vehicles at the side, and you could jump straight into them and get straight into the combat and the gameplay. In this one, you have to run around, find the small tokens, somehow magically teleport yourself into a vehicle, and it just really is detaching from the game itself for me and just doesn't work. I would much prefer there to be the hangar full of spaceships on this for the Rebels, and then for the Imperials, actually maybe starting on one of the ships that's hovering over Hoth and coming down on a TIE fighter or one of the interceptors. That for me would have worked a lot better and just felt more like Battlefront. I just feel that at this point, what they've done with this game is tried to make it too much like all the FPSs out there at the moment. I know they are the creators of Battlefield, a very successful series in its own right, and they've also got to compete with things like Call of Duty. But that isn't Battlefront. That isn't the heart of what made that game and that series good. And I think they've lost their way a little bit in trying to compare themselves and compete with the modern FPSs out there at the moment. And you can get a deeper sense of this when you look at the health system that they've chosen to use. It's the same sort of one that you get in Call of Duty, whereby if you take damage, you have to get behind cover and it will regenerate slowly over time. In previous games, you had to find a medical droid in order to regen your health or get more health. And for me, that was a better system. It added a deeper level of peril where you really did have to think about where you go in the game, where you go on the map, and get to that health droid before your time runs out and someone tops you off. And another one of the key aspects that many people know at this point is the balancing is very, very poor. Yes, this may change for the final game and could be worked on by DICE in the meantime. However, at the moment, it's just really, really not good. And I've noticed it on plenty of occasions where I've been shooting an enemy in the head, say with my pistol, they've turned around with a slightly better weapon, shot me in the body a couple of times, and I've dropped first. And for me, that really isn't balanced gameplay. Some skill should be involved. If you're shooting an enemy in the head, they should drop a hell of a lot quicker than you if they turn around and shoot you in the body. That just, for me, signifies poor balanced gameplay. And for me, this unbalanced gameplay just detaches me from the game entirely and just makes it unenjoyable. Just a final word to close off my impressions of the beta overall then. It is a good game in many aspects. It looks amazing. The graphics are really, really good. They're really crisp, really finished well, and it does look like Star Wars. And it even sounds like it too, to such a degree where you can actually feel like you are a part of that universe. However, I find the gameplay tedious and just not enjoyable overall. It's just not for me. Again, you may disagree with this, but I will not be purchasing this game at release. I may get it at a later stage when all the DLC etc. has been released and I can get it for a discounted price. I may play it then. But for me, I will not be putting my money into this. And for Christ's sake, why the hell have they decided to charge $50, which I'm guessing equates to about £40. It may even be £50, no, not look, for a DLC season pass. That to me is just foolish. It's ridiculous. It's something that I begrudge totally in games of this generation, where they'll release a game, they'll put several maps in there and go, there you go, that's 40 quid please, there you go, play that, enjoy it. Oh, and by the way, in a couple of months we're going to be releasing more maps, but they're not going to be free, you're going to have to buy the game again. What the hell is the deal with that? It's ridiculous. I know, the company's getting more money. Fantastic for them. They can produce more games. They make a ton anyway. It just really does grind my gears. It's freaking annoying. I can't see why more companies can't be like CD Projekt Red, who do fantastic small packs of DLC along the way to the actual full content of a new story. I just don't understand why people can't do that. Why they have to create these DLC season passes that for me don't really add that much to the game. They just give you a little bit of freshness every now and again. I even begrudge it when Halo does it. Even though they are slightly cheaper, it's still very annoying. Anyway, that's probably a discussion for another time. As always, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you have liked it, please do drop me a like. And again, I'll be glad to hear your comments on this beta and whether you think you will be purchasing it on day of release, or whether you're like me, sitting on the fence and waiting for it to be cheaper. And I don't think there's much point posting any comments about the DLC expansion pass. We know that is an absolute pile of crap. And yeah, I don't think there needs to be any more comment on that, but feel free to begrudge it down below in the comments. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.